For sure. I mean, weight cutting is such a big part of the sport. A lot of wrestlers are experts at it. However, a lot of wrestlers are sick of cutting weight by the time they get to this point. Aren't a big fan of those, massive weight cuts and stuff like that. I know you aren't. And you said that, obviously at middleweight you had some advantages, but there was also some strong disadvantages.
Right.
You were miserable during camp. The weight cut was a 50-50 thing. We're either going to make it or not, even though you always did make it. I'm sure that was
well, plus you gotta,
we wouldn't have.
So often, you got to start cutting weight 3 weeks out of the camp, or now it's like I really only have to focus on an actual legitimate weight cut a couple days out, so when you got to fight 3 weeks out and you're not even thinking about the fight, you're thinking about your weight, a lot of times you got to reevaluate what,
living on the scale,
priorities. Yep.
I know that lifestyle, Cam, trust me.
I like food too much, I'd rather just work it off.
This will be an interesting one, Cam. Who do you pick in this one? I know you haven't seen much of either guy. I picked Brian Green on this one, but we'll see.
I'm going to go with Green as well. I mean, he looks to me a little bit better shape, and also he's, obviously his pedigree of his last few fights against some absolute studs. And he's from, he's fighting out of Des Moines too, so it's not like he had a long travel or anything like that to get here.
Both guys look a little soft in the midsection. Both guys probably 170s. Happy to take this fight at 85, knowing that they are the same size of guy.
Nelson with a solid parry and jab.
First leg kick.
Green, awesome fake to the body and hook. He looks pretty confident in there. And to go from the people he's been fighting recently to someone at this level is a huge advantage for him. And he looks like he'll be having his way with the stand-up so far. Caught Nelson with a few crosses.
Brian Green, an interesting story. I don't know if you remember Cam. He was the one who fought Kimbo and was actually winning in boxing and winning the fight. And they got knocked out with like 5-10 seconds left. A lot of people called it a fix, but it was a very, very strange fight. Brian completely dominated him and then was knocked out at the very end.
Yeah, there's probably not much getting into his head or intimidating him when you fight guys like Kimbo.
No, a big guy like Kimbo. I mean, Kimbo had to be about twice his size.
And he is throwing some heat behind his hooks and across.
Yeah,
there's another one right there. Lots of speed with that hook as well. And he hops into it, kind of does that little hop into that hook with all the power behind it. Good body kick from Nelson there. Another good body kick. Both of those landed flush on the
Nelson's showing some offense here too. He's going to have to keep his cans higher, but he's definitely throwing some better kicks than I expected.
Nelson has some progress with the body kick, and Green with the hooks and the crosses. Not a bad idea for Nelson to get him up against the cage here. Maybe try to work his head under the chin of Brian Green. Kind of post him up there for a second. Make him hold up his own weight. Kind of an odd takedown, but he's right back into a leg lock here.
Let's see if we can get that on a veteran like Brian Green.
Brian Green's doing a good job.
See some blood on the foot already. Not sure who's bleeding.
Brian Green going for it, and this he may finish here. He's
got it.
Yep.
He's got it.
Good heel hook from Brian Green. Gave Nelson a taste of his own medicine. And I think when Nelson went back for the leg lock of his own, Green quickly realized he was kind of out of his wheelhouse on that, and thought maybe if he went for a heel hook of his own, he'd finish, which he did. Good work from Green. It looked like he had this advantage for stand up and finishing on the ground anyway. Got out of the fight pretty flawless. And even though he got heel hooked, Nelson's bleeding quite a bit from his nose.
Yeah, it looks like he got his nose broken pretty early on.
Yeah, one of the last things you want to, I'm not a huge leg locker, of course, but one of the last things you want to do when someone has a hold of your leg is just let them sit there and kind of wait for it to happen. You either got to, put the boot on and lock your leg out or start spinning.
For sure.
And he was a little late to the spin. good to see Jeremiah Nelson back up on his feet here with the help from his coaches. May have torn up his ankle a little bit.
Nice performance by Brian, though. Really calm and composed, like you said. You can see that he's a vet. Nice hands. Once he got to the ground, he responded to that leg lock with a heel hook quickly to get the submission
All right,
finish.
ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the first round at the mark of 221 due to a heel hook, your very own